Okay. I think everything's set up. I do need to do one thing though. Like the timer is bothering me because the one section of the timer, like the tenths and hundreds aren't displaying, so let me see if I can fix that. Segment timer. Funny, the closer to white it gets, the worse. Two. So weird. All right. Make this adjustment as well. All right, that should be better. All right, at least that'll properly show now. It's kind of bizarre how it won't. Like I was kind of playing around with the colors, just adjusting it like one digit at a time. See what would and wouldn't show, and it's really weird where I decided to start alpha filtering. Okay. There's something about how this does it that's not quite right. Like I've got other stuff that does it and doesn't have problems like this, but this program, the timer here, the live splits program, struggles a little bit for some reason. Okay, so anyway, let's get started. Put in my L name. Hopefully not an L run. Yuck. All right. We ready to go here? I think we are. Without further ado. Oh, actually, with further ado, there's a couple of things I want to do before I start. Give me a minute, I'll be back. Okay. Let's actually kind of move this around. I don't like that. Sorry, I tried changing something around with how stuff set up on the screen, and after reconsideration, I actually didn't like it, so I'm gonna go back to the way I always do it. Okay, so let's just do that one more time for good measure. All right, 3, 2, 1, hey. So, while we're getting started here, allow me to briefly rant about Grand Blue Fantasy. Really, I am very much enjoying this game a lot. Really, that is. I like it a lot. It's fun. I have no intention of stopping playing anytime soon. But I did run into something yesterday that greatly annoyed me. So, if you're not familiar with the game, just a brief description of what kind of game it is. It's an action RPG game, and if you're going to compare it to something, I'd say it's a mix of a Tales series game and Monster Hunter. So the fighting works more akin to a Tales series game, and it's kind of like hack and slash and more high paced and use magic and things like that. And the enemy style is more akin to Monster Hunter in that, I mean, there are like smaller, weaker enemies that you do have to deal with. Monster Hunter, you don't really have to do that too much. This you have to do a little bit more. So it's a little bit more like a Tales game that way, but it's mostly about fighting big monsters with a party of 4 members. And Monster Hunter, your basic gameplay is solo, but this one gives you AI teammates, CPU teammates. And unless you choose to reduce the number of members in your team, which is only going to make things more difficult. There's really no need to do it, unless you just want to. You're going to have 4 members. Now, the game, for the most part, puts you in a battle of 4-on-1, so it's usually like 4 of you versus like 1 big monster. Every now and then, you might have to fight like 2 things at the same time. Or, like the monster will spawn like, runts or things like that to fight while you're fighting it, so, it's not exactly, always just one thing you're fighting. For the most part, you're fighting one thing. Now, later in the game, once you finish like the main storyline, then you're doing like all the quests that are available, kind of like Monster Hunter. You start to get some quests that have 2 bosses at the same time. And then later after that, you get some quests that have 3 bosses at the same time. Now, the 2 bosses at the same time aren't necessarily that much of a problem. I mean, it kind of depends on like how far the bosses are. But these 2 and 3 boss quests run into a little bit of a problem with how the CPU acts. And it really kind of drove me nuts yesterday because like how the CPU acts directly triggers what's the word? Something within the game that makes the boss a lot more difficult. So, the way the bosses work is boss has this like standard mode, and after you hit the boss and do enough damage, the boss switches into overdrive mode. Now, overdrive mode at the start is extremely dangerous, and for the most part, you can't harm the boss while it's at the start of the overdrive mode. So you just kind of got to weather the storm. But at the higher difficulties, weathering the storm becomes a lot more difficult because a lot of the damage that bosses will do will kill you in 1 or 2 hits. And if it's a big attack, it pretty much is guaranteed to kill you in 1 hit. Unless you have greatly increased your HP pool, which I haven't gotten there yet, because I've just kind of been going along. Like I finish something, move on to the next thing, so I haven't really been grinding that much. Now, there's nothing wrong with any of that. I don't have an issue with that. That's perfectly fine. My problem becomes when you're fighting with the CPU. Now, in this game, most games where you have to deal with like a lot of CPU players, you know, playing with, think like Secret of Mana or the Tales games or things like that. Like they give you kind of ways to finally control how the CPU acts, because you don't want the CPU doing stuff that's going to cause you problems. Like you want to be able to give some form of, you know, instructions to it so it doesn't do something stupid at an important point and cost your game. However, this game doesn't really have that. Pretty much the only thing you can control with the CPU is when it uses ultimates. And while that's good that that's in there, that's not quite enough. So here's the problem that happens with the game. So when you're fighting multiple bosses, anybody who has played a game with, you know, where you have to fight like multiple enemies at the same time with teammates will tell you that, and even if not without teammates, that the general strategy for when you're dealing with multiple bosses is you want to reduce the number of bosses as quickly as possible. Because obviously it's easier to fight one boss than 2 bosses. Now some fights are set up to where when you eliminate one, like the other one gets stronger, and that can actually make it harder. So you actually try to get them down at the same time. You know, some fights are actually designed where you have to get them down at the same time, because one boss will like revive the other or something like that. But in general, when you have multiple bosses, the idea is you want to focus one down and reduce the numbers so that it just gets easier. For whatever reason, the CPU AI in this game will go out of its way to try to get the bosses to go down in HP relatively evenly. To the point that I can focus down an enemy by myself and get it near death, and then the CPU will use the ult on the enemy that has almost like a full bar of HP, instead of using it on the one where they could finish it off. Now, that in and of itself is pretty bad, but what really becomes a problem is what I discussed before about the overdrive mechanic. Now, what really was pissing me off yesterday is when one of the bosses would go into overdrive. Now, generally what you want to do is you want to get it out of overdrive as soon as possible, and the only way to get them out of overdrive is you got to hit them enough. You got to take down their overdrive meter by beating on them. Now, the CPU in all its brilliance will ignore that enemy, because I'm attacking it probably, and then go after the other enemy and put it in overdrive at the same time. So instead of having just one enemy in overdrive to deal with, you've got 2. Because the CPU is just brainless with regards to this. Now, you know, Cygames hasn't really made a game like this before, and so, you know, and, you know, even Monster Hunter, like, they've been doing this for forever, and their multi-boss fights, like, there's really not much consideration put into it too much with how the boss AI acts or anything like that. Like, they just throw 2 at you and say figure it out, for the most part. And there's strategies you can use in Monster Hunter where, like, you can use items that'll make one of the bosses, like, exit the arena. You know, you can't always do that, but, you know, they have thought about it some. But I don't think this game thought about, like, how multi-boss fights would go too much before they just made them. And, like, with quests like that, it's really easy. Like, quests, all you have to do is just say, okay, here's the arena, here's the enemies in it, go at it. You can just endlessly make quests like that. Now, to be fair to them, as the difficulty's gone up, like, some of the bosses, like, their behavior seems to change, or they seem to get new moves, so they did do at least a little bit of something with the higher level of quest difficulty. But just the CPU AI and how it acts in those boss fights, like they're sandbagging. And now, at the very least, the CPU in the game is actually very, quote-unquote, talented in that it's not going to take very much damage, it's not going to die very much, and it's generally going to do a good job of, just fighting in general and outputting damage and, using its skills. But for whatever reason, it's just absolutely brain dead when it comes to fighting multiple bosses. And the last set of quests in the game are pretty much all multiple bosses, and they're actually pretty hard. And so you don't really need the CPU doing stuff that's just going to make them harder because it's too stupid to understand basic multi-boss strategy. And so then the obvious solution would seem to be, okay, well, why don't you give players the ability to give some kind of, simple commands to the CPU players so that they don't do stuff like that. And that's exactly how I feel. And what really gets me is that, they had 2 years since release, and then the expansion coming out to, fix this, and they didn't do anything with it. And one thing that's kind of interesting about this expansion is the reason I'm doing what I'm doing right now, like all these hard quests, is you can't access the expansion until you have finished all of the quests from the original game. Even the highest level ones. You can't get to the expansion content until you've done that. So I have to do them. So I'm doing them. Now, I don't really mind that that's the fact. If you can take into fact the people that have been playing for 2 years and they've grinded their characters to ridiculous strengths, I mean, if you don't do that, they're just going to blow through the content in, a few hours, and it's going to be what the fuck is this? So I think it's understandable. But the thing is, what percentage of your original players was that? And who do you think is going to buy this expansion? So, that's actually kind of a tough question. I don't know what I would have done in their situation either, but they chose we'll design the game for the sweats, more or less. This is a very sweaty game. Okay? If you want to play this game and beat all the hardest stuff, you've got to grind, and you've got to actually get kind of decent at the game, too. I don't know if they have nerfed stuff or made stuff easier since the game released, but right now I haven't had too much difficulty with it, and to be fair, I'm kind of familiar with games like this, and it's not like Monster Hunter where if you get knocked down 3 times, you're done. There is a timer that goes down whenever a character is KO'd, and when that timer reaches 0, then you lose. And I kind of like that system. It's not too bad. But, yeah, this is a fairly hardcore game. I don't think the battle system is the most hardcore in the world, but, just the way it's designed, it's designed for people who like to, grind stuff out and do quests over and over again, things like that. Considering what kind of happened to Monster Hunter over the Wilds, well, it's nice for most people to have a game like that. But I wouldn't be surprised if you get a lot of the less sweaty people that come back to the game because of the expansion figure out that they can't play the expansion until they do all that stuff, and as they're doing that stuff, they kind of get a little bit angry about it. Now, the thing is, the actual, I think, intended solution that the game has is they want you to play online. If you do online multiplayer, this is all not a problem at all because human players won't do anything that stupid. Ugh. That was pretty bad. I thought I wasted a 2-second pause there. So, play online and you won't have any of these problems. However, if you're the kind of person that maybe you don't have PS Plus, maybe you don't like playing online, yeah, this is a problem. And I don't know why, after 2 years, they couldn't at least just put in a simple system that allows you to kind of say, hey, I want the AI to all attack the same enemy as me, or I want the AI to, spread the damage out, or anything like that. Just, something simple that allows you to make those commands, definitely within their ability to do, but they didn't do it. And I'm kind of surprised. What I'm even more surprised about is that if nobody complained about it. I mean, that is a possibility, because like one of the things you got to understand about like sweats in video games is a lot of sweats take it as a point of pride overcoming bad game mechanics. You know, rather than having the game mechanics be fixed to something reasonable, it's like, well, I overcame it, why can't you? And one of the things about, you know, sweats is, well, to be a sweat, like, you gotta put a lot of time into a video game. So, like, there's a whole discussion there about, you know, what the value of a person's time is. So, like, if you're one of those people, like, you care only as much about the time as the game allows you to care about. So, in other words, you don't really care if you're spending a lot of time in the game doing things like that. You don't care what's going on with regards to that so much because you enjoy the game, or like you like the grind, or whatever it may be. If you're a less sweaty person, and maybe your time is more valuable, like that kind of stuff just is annoying and makes you not want to play the game, or not spending time with the game, or, you know, not spending money on the game, honestly. Like, those kinds of things you generally want to fix. Because, you know, God bless the sweats. Like, I myself am moderately sweaty. But, unfortunately for game companies, like, it's kind of hard, especially outside of the mobile games space, for a game to survive only on sweats. The marathon. Like, you do kind of have to, make sure that you're not pushing too many people away because of bad game systems, or, you know, game system design that's designed to just take up too much time. And, you know, that's what Wilds tried to combat, but I think Wilds went a little bit too far. To the point where, you know, Monster Hunter was one of the sweaty games, and it had built its audience entirely on that. And then they started chasing the casual audience, and they got a lot of casual players, because I think World had a pretty good balance between, you know, casual and sweaty, and then they went to casual on Wilds, and I think they lost a lot of their sweats. And whenever the next Monster Hunter title comes out, they may see the results of that. Because, you know, I like Monster Hunter. I thought Wilds was alright, but yeah, I just didn't really see the reason to spend too much time with that game. Like, I platinumed that game in like a little bit over a week. Just because of how easily they made it to do everything. And then I've never really felt compelled to go back. I thought that hit it. Oh my god. I knew I should have adjusted myself downwards. Oh. My disappointment is immeasurable and my day is ruined. Seriously though, like, I should have been done with that fight like 15 seconds earlier. That's really frustrating how much I messed up the end there. We did so well at the start. But anyway, long story short, Grand Blue Fantasy Relink, the CPU AI, great in solo fights, absolute dog shit in multi-boss fights. But at least they don't die. I'm the only one dying. But really, I just don't get it. Like, why would you not give the player the ability to at least give simple, you know, strategic commands to the CPU players? Like, all I need is really two options, you know, focus on the same enemy I'm focusing on, or don't. That's it. That's really all I need. It's just absolutely bonkers to me that the CPU just spends all its time working down the enemies in kind of like a balanced fashion just to put them all in overdrive at the same time and make the fight like 10 times harder than it needs to be. For no good reason. I was like, oh man, I was so mad about that yesterday. I was mauling like for pretty much the second half of the stream over just how stupid the CPU was with that. So like those last few quests, yeah, they're actually pretty hard. They're not the hardest thing in the world. Like I've done the harder stuff, but I've done much harder stuff. But there's not really a lot of margin for error, so I don't need the CPU doing stuff just to make it harder because it's not smart enough to, you know, understand the basic strategy of multi-boss fights that has been used for decades. Honestly, like any kind of competitive game where you eliminate your opponent. You always want to reduce your opponent's numbers as quickly as possible. Not try to get rid of all of them at the same time in a balanced fashion. I don't know. Maybe I'm an idiot and there is actually an option for this, but I looked for it and couldn't find it. I mean, at the very least, it lets you control whether or not they'll use their ult or not, but the thing is, like, if you let them control when they're using the ults, like, they're going to use the ult not on the weakest enemy most of the time. They're going to use it on... they're going to use it on whatever you're not hitting. And, like, the ults are kind of important for timing because you want to link stuff together so you can keep the boss down and have it stay down and just beat on it and not let it do stuff. Like, that's the general strategy. Kind of like Monster Hunter. You don't want the boss moving around. So the ults are kind of important for that. And that the CPU just kind of wastes them on those multi-boss fights. Like, I just don't know why they wouldn't have fixed that with the update. But again, if you're playing online multiplayer, like, this is not... Oh, damn it. It's too far right. If you're playing online multiplayer, it's not an issue. Human players generally won't do stuff that stupid. Generally. Anyway, that's my Grand Prix Fantasy League, right? Still love the game. Don't get me wrong. All right. Whoops. That's mostly my fault. That was a little bit riskier than it needed to be. Look, I just didn't think he was going to do that. I guess I shouldn't say I didn't think he was going to. I was hoping he wasn't going to do that. And to be fair, the odds were in my favor. But he did. And here we are. Alright, let's go again. I mean, that wasn't the best round in the world. But either way. Boom. Just getting back to Grand Blue Fantasy real quick. Like, it's definitely a decision to put the DLC behind literally pretty much all the endgame content from the original game. Like, I don't think I've ever seen a game do that before. Obviously, like, most of the time, like, your DLC is behind some form of wall of progress. But to literally have to do like all the hardest stuff from the previous game to be able to access it, I don't really think I've seen that before. I mean, they're basically asking you to, I mean, not quite, but they're almost asking you to platinum the game to be able to get to it, which is a pretty high bar, honestly. Considering only 2% of players in the original game platinumed it. And like I said, you don't have to platinum it exactly to get there. You just have to do enough to where, I mean, at that point, you might as well. It's certainly a decision. And, I mean, again, there's good reasoning behind it, because if you don't do it, then all the people that ground their characters to ridiculous levels on the original game, like the DLC is just going to be a walk in the park for them. They're going to be unhappy with it. Like, even the Souls games, like, you could actually access the DLC, the expansions for the Souls games and Elden Ring relatively early in the game, if you wanted to. Like, if you just set out to get to it, like, it's not that high of a bar of entry, honestly. That's actually closer to a 0 there. I was just really late on the button. So that was honestly quite the surprise when I found that out. It's like, I'll be honest, like, I didn't look into it before I started it. And like, this is a common thing that I do with DLC, is like, I always forget to see what the requirements are to be able to play the DLC until I've already bought it. But, I mean, I was going to get it either way, so it doesn't really matter. It's not that big of a deal. But, yeah, that was a bit of a shock. Like, I thought I'd be able to, you know, just finish the main story of the game and then be able to get to it. And like, nope. I have to do all those post-game quests. There's more post-game content than main game content, honestly. Like, it's interesting. They did it that way. A lot of times when games will do that, like, they'll make the main game stuff a little bit easier to get through so that, you know, people can actually get to the new stuff that they paid for, but I don't really think this game's done anything like that, best as I can tell. Like, since the expansion got patched in, because it's one of those, you know, it's not you buy the expansion and then download 20 gigs, it's they put the expansion into the game and then you just download the key that unlocks it. It's that kind of expansion. So, you know, what I did there was slightly foolish, because you actually kind of want to be above the rat so that when you hit him, you don't knock him backwards. I was a bit low on the line. So I kind of kicked myself in the balls with that one. The 555 is pretty nice. Could have been better. Could have been closer to 553. I just really wish they had made it where you could just get that chest by going directly left instead of having to walk around that guy. Every time I have to walk around that guy, I always think about that. At least, best of my knowledge, you have to walk around them. Pretty sure you do. Yeah, I almost want to say, like, the Game Boy Advance version that came out, they actually kind of adjusted that where you don't have to walk around them, but I'm not 100% on that. $736, pretty solid. All right. I'm kind of shocked at how much of a barrier to progress the Tower of Hera has been lately. I think I'm just being a little bit more careful with that room lately. I'm just tired of runs dying there. Or at least, you know, like losing time because I mess up a base throw. A jar throw, or whatever you want to call it. Alright, cannonballs, what are you hitting me? That's solid. That's easy. Good pattern, please. Good pattern, please. That's okay. Thank you, arrow drops. And messed up a very good run. Oh, whatever. He's gonna have to perfect it. That's a shame. That could have been probably like an all-time best time at that. And I messed up that Cyclops. Just a hair too early. Was feeling fast, and I was fast. Too fast. Cost me, what, 5 seconds, I think? Yeah, 11:03 would have definitely been the best time I've ever put up. And then the boss fight probably would have gone a little bit faster too, because I would have had more arrows, so I could be a little bit more aggressive. Oh well. That wouldn't have been the elusive sub 11, but it would have been close. Oh man, I need... Oh. That's why I always hate that pattern. I really fucked that up. Oh. I should have... Should have just taken the wider line, not dealt with him. I'd be aggressive and screwed it up. can't undo it. Overmashed. Oh, that should have been at least 5 seconds faster than that. That was dumb. Might as well have gotten the heart. Got too aggressive. Oh, damn it. I'm actually behind the last run. Two hearts too, this is the problem. Oh. The fuck? Why didn't it light on the first time I was at the right there? Hit the Y button. Even reacted. Didn't light. What the hell was that? Bye-bye. That is a shame. It was actually a pretty decent run there for a little bit. Okay, give me a minute. I need to take care of laundry. I'll be back. Okay, let's go again. Now, I actually kind of had a really good start on that, and then I kind of fumbled the ball there. Like, in general, especially on this first half of the game, like, my times have gotten significantly better over the last couple of weeks. All I need is just to put a run together and have the RNG kind of mash up. Sooner or later. Sooner or later. I hope. That always sucks. But we can keep going. By the way. Alright. Didn't get a good pattern there. That's too slow on sword swings. Need to leave a little faster. I just can't get... I can't get the rhythm on that consistent. I always end up being slow. And then I over-adjust and end up being too fast. Can't quite get it right. What am I doing? Let's go. There about half a second for no reason. Letter. Through the door. That sucks. Should have gone lower out, but I already committed. Oh my god, it's just... ugh, that sucks. Man, that was a lot of lost time. Oh well. That's better. That's what I wanted to do last time. Oh. Okay. They have caught me in the middle of wall pumping twice now. Usually I can react in time, but I had my eyes in the wrong place both times. Why did you come back? Should at least 2 seconds faster than that. That's mostly my fault. I'm getting the key rat coming right, and then I still lose time. That's pretty bad. Okay. All things considered. Did pretty well to get there in the time we did. Oof. What? Whoops. Why do you keep getting in the way lately? Oh, God. Shit. Oh. Can't believe I did that. Second time I've done that this week. There's really no reason to be in that big of a hurry there. Oh well. Hmm. Once again. I just reset. I don't know, like over a second behind. Let's see how the hallway goes. Okay. Okay. Yeah, sometimes it almost feels like that's faster. It's because I knock him to a closer position to the door, and then I don't have to stop to pick up the key either. Oh, come on. Shouldn't have taken that first tick of damage, that was dumb. My faith that that green knife soldier was going to get out of the way was rewarded. Go! Thank you. Always appreciated. Now this is going about as well as it can possibly go at the moment. The sewer, that is. Now watch this guy run up into the top right. He tried. Oh, I keep messing that up lately. Let's get over anxious and I cut down too quickly. Oh, really? I'm gonna take 2 hits from that? Hit the wrong button. Or did I? No, I didn't. Thought I hit the wrong button there for a second. Okay. Okay. Should have wall pumped. Oh. Well, that was a good way to waste 3 seconds. Yeah, I don't know what the deal is with that right side jar and me not picking that up cleanly lately. Like, I am hitting the button. I just don't know why it's not picking it up. Second too slow on that sword swing. Alright, just a hair faster than he won't jump in front of the door there, but it's too late. He'd already walked past me. This could have been a really impressive time right now if I didn't mess that up. Oh, impressive for me, anyway. Impressive for me. do that. Alright, we got our arrow drops. Lucky pattern. We got about 5 seconds. Yeah. Real shame about the pot room. If you press down, it won't nudge you past the corner. When you dash, it won't nudge past the corner either. So, like, I don't know why I dashed there. That's dumb. I should have just moved over to the left. So, wasted time twice. Wasted time on the dash restart and on the bonk. Well done. At least everything else is okay. It's not the worst miss in the world. It's just a stupid and embarrassing one. Oh my lord, what a disaster. It's still only 8. It's still close to 2 seconds lost though. Alright, best palace in time of the day so far, I believe. $16.29 is all right. I can be over 10 seconds faster than that, though. I made a lot better than that. I figure 19 arrows is enough. We'll see. I thought I had it. Got it. All right. That's really well done. Okay. Okay. That'll give us a nice little lead here. Oh, you stupid pickle. Oh, come on, rock. Okay. Break here. Oh, I got some green copy back in. Made it. Oh, that worked out. Calculated risk. Please don't mess this up. Oh, that's scary. Christ, that's scary. Okay. Not as fast as I was hoping, but fast enough. I'll pick up a little bit of time. I think. Yeah. 7 seconds. Okay. He just wanted to say hello. Woof. Feels bad. Hate messing up that line. My favorite dash in the game. I don't even know why I dashed. Oh yeah, I do. Let's destroy the bushes, but even still. Don't know why I bonked. Last few times those guards have really been a pain in the ass. They didn't do that today. Alright, face tank time it is. Always appreciate it when he comes over there. That sucks. It is a sword. Oh, that went well. Okay. Oh, here we go. RNG fun number 1. Last time was a 6. Time before that was a 0. Time before that was a 1. Time before that was a 7, I believe. What's it gonna be? Hopefully something reasonable. BB was a 7. 1. Okay, there we go. That's what we're counting. 1. 2. 3. All right, we're off to a good start here. 4. 5. Potential here. 'Guaranteed hit of shame. Oh, 7 is the max. 6. 6. No 2 3s or 4s around here, folks. Those are normie numbers. No, 36-second lead is actually not bad, but considering how much better it could be. With this average luck. First or last, baby. There you go. All right. Shut up and take my money. All right. I kind of got that right. Oh, thank you for not getting in the way. That would have been bad. Oh, I did it again. The same thing yesterday. How did I not hit that button? Mistake. Oh well, it's not gonna be a penalty. It sucks though. It's actually off the edge of there. Oh, screwed it up. Oh, well, not the end of the world, but it does hurt a little bit. You'd be surprised. Those rupees could make a difference. Like, especially if you get the heart early on the shovel game, like you can be behind on rupees. Oh, that was dumb. I was hoping you'd drop a heart. Oh well. Every shot it is. No arrow drops. That's pretty rare. Like, I won't go out of the way to pick up ones that the green ones drop, but even still, like, it's rare for none of them to drop one. Alright. Man, menuing is absolutely atrocious in this dungeon so far. What am I doing? I should have picked those. Whatever. It'll be alright. Oh, you'll load it. I got where the pixel is on that dash. Okay, you kind of being a dick today, you know? You want to stop that? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Jesus. All fireballs? Really? Oh, losing a lot of my lead there. was it, like 5 seconds or so, maybe? Maybe more than that, even. Maybe closer to 7 or 8 seconds, even. That was a shit fight. That's the worst. That's outside of dying. That's the worst fight I've had on him that I can remember in a while. Like I probably had worse, but none come to mind. Like usually at some point he'll not shoot a fireball. Jeez, 13 seconds. Holy shit. Oh. I can't believe I lost 13 seconds there. That's a lot of time. That's really worth it, I thought. Oh, you suck. It would only matter if I needed the sword. Oh. That's too bad. Way too early on that throw. That's another 3 or 4 seconds. Thought that bomb was gonna get me. Oh! That fingered it. And just like that, a 30-second lead is down to like maybe a 5 to 10 second lead. Like, oh my god, this is nightmarish. How this section is going. Oh well. It's times like this when the ones tend to show up. Because God forbid I get a one like the times when I'm up by over a minute when I get here. Nope, not today. Yeah, so I basically got a 10-second lead. Now, it either shows up here or the run's more or less dead. If it does show up here, it's in a lot of trouble. We'll go up to the treasure box game. Because why not? Oh. Sorry, my hand kind of slipped there. Sorry. That'd matter more if the run wasn't dead. Pray not to get any slowdown there. Alright, what's it gonna be? I do this because I gotta get all my bad luck out of the way so I can have good luck. That's how luck works. Ask any gambler. Hey, it's a 3. 150. Alright, I'm just going to do the next dungeon because I need to practice that anyway. We're already here. Oh, was this one pixels too far right? Oh. Oh, that sucks. Oh, I did the thing. I've never actually done that before, but I did it. Gotta be careful you don't leave the door before the bomb explodes. Or before the hole opens in the ground, I mean. Because the bomb actually did explode before I left, it's just the hole hadn't opened up. Oh, what? Good thing this is practice. This is pretty shit. This is also why I practiced. That's why I'm doing this, honestly. I still did a very good job with this dungeon. I don't really know why. It's not a particularly hard dungeon, honestly. I don't do very well with it, though. What the hell am I doing? Well. It's one of the worst attempts I've had in this dungeon I can remember. Guess maybe I'm not taking it serious enough. I'm surprised I didn't get the third hit off there. That didn't hit? Oh, that's bull. Come on. Alright, that's enough of that. That's enough of that. Got enough time to give it a few more goes. Hold on a second. I need to make a quick phone call. Sorry about that. Okay, let's try again. Maybe 1 or 2 good attempts left. Maybe 1. One more solid attempt. Feels really slow. I guess not, though. It's about the same as always. Oh, that's not good. Oh, well, that settled that. Boom, boom, boom. Oh. Whatever. Let's keep going. Bus with no brakes. Ooh. Messed that up. Oh, man. Ugh. Jeez. Excuse me. What the hell happened? That's a shame. It was a cold split pace before that happened. once you get out of that door. Pull out the football moves. All right. Oh. Slow to the punch there. All right. Out we go. Whoa. Sometimes your luck just don't work out. Ooh. Oh, Oh my lord. What a stupid way to lose time. What am I doing? Ah. Oh, no margin for error anymore. Shit. Messed up the line coming into the room. Oh well. This will be probably the last go. So we can get somewhere. Man, there's a lot of clanks. There we go. I should have just walked the middle path there. It's usually the smarter decision. I gambled. I lost. I was born a gambling man. I don't really gamble that much though, in real life. Or like, not money gambling anyway. By not much, I mean pretty much never. I do like it though. That reminds me, I need to set up Dragon Quest 4 so I can do a casino stream someday. I mean, I could always do it with Dragon Quest 11, but I prefer the video poker in Dragon Quest 4. It feels more honest. The later versions of Dragon Quest Casinos feels a little bit too much like the thumbs on the scale. That original one though, back on the NES hardware where you didn't really have enough, you know, space to put in kinds of all kinds of, you know, like special little conditions for the gambling to make it appear a certain way. You just kind of had to do it in its purest form, so it works the way you'd expect it to work for the most part. That's why that's my favorite version of it. That set up so everybody can see my problems with double or nothing. Alright. How about we have a nice Eastern Palace? Make it to the boss. Beat the boss. Then go to the Desert Palace again, where we actually had a really good fight last time. See if I can repeat that. To be fair, the boss was fairly generous. Gave me a good start, but I finished it off. Oh Lord, what a disaster. Oof. I'm not gonna end on that. Jesus, I can't believe I messed that up. I was just late on the A button press. The second pop throw was just... There's not too much to think about there. I'd already messed up, so I was... Oh, that was slow. Ah. That's a pretty lousy pattern. Yeah, what the hell am I doing? That's 3 times in a row I've just kind of completely messed up that room. Oh my god. Yeah, that's a shit time. Alright, now we really have kind of come to the end of the road. This one needs to be good, or... Man, I really thought I was going to make it back to the shovel game at least one more time. This has not worked out though, has it? Yep. Now our left thumb is starting to get sore. means we are reaching the end of the line. Not ideal, but whatever. I don't want to keep resetting. Oh, what the hell? Oh, come on. Oh. Well, that's probably as good a place to end it as any, I guess. Jesus. Did not see that coming. Oh well, didn't work out today. At least the run that got to the shoveling, I mean, it wasn't that bad right up until the shoveling. Well, to be fair, like, I guess the better way to say that, it wasn't that bad until I got to the Dark World. The Dark World was, not very good after that. Like, the House of Darkness, well, Helmsword fight kind of screwed me, but, I mean, there were some mistakes here and there. Wrong warped before picking up the flute. And then the shovel game just finished it off. Ganem 6 is also pretty unlucky. But even then, like, what? After Ganem 6, I was still up 36 seconds, I think, at the time. So, if nothing else, like, I'm being able to get to Ganem, like, somewhere between 20 and 30 seconds up, which is a massive improvement over where I was not that long ago, so... Just need the luck to kind of work out there a little bit, and then after that, like the Dark World, I probably need to actually either just play a run through or pull out the practice ROM and practice the Dark World a little bit, because now, like, what I haven't done I don't think I've done a run of the Dark World now since the last PB, and that's getting close to 2 weeks ago now, so... That's not good. That's not good for when I actually do get a good run, because then I'm going to blow it because I'm out of practice. So I'll probably have to do that somewhere along the line here. Anyway, didn't work out today. That is the expected result, sadly, just because of how the RNG works with this game. But hey, when it does hit, gonna have to wait another day at least. So, probably should be back tomorrow doing this again. Around the same time. It'll be a little bit later in the afternoon, closer to evening time on the weekdays when I start usually. So, And then I usually only go for somewhere between 2 to 3 hours. But we'll be doing that again tomorrow. So if you're interested, by all means, stop back then. Otherwise, I'm going to switch over to Grand Blue Fantasy Relink in about 30 or 45 minutes or so. Like, I scheduled it for 9, but I'll just push it up a little bit, start a little bit earlier. Like, I need to end a little bit earlier today anyway. Like, I can't do 8 hours like I have the last 2 or 3 days. Like, I got something I need to take care of in the morning tomorrow, so. But, continuing with the hopefully last of the Proud Quests. I don't think there's too many. I think there's only like 3 or 4 left that I have to do, but I gotta do them. And unfortunately, to be able to do them, I've got to kind of grind a little bit. So today's will be a little bit grindy, but I think the grind isn't too bad. It's just you just gotta do it. So get that taken care of, kind of level up my character so they can actually do damage to the next boss fight. Like, I gave it a shot yesterday, and 3 minutes in, I'd only reduced their HP by about 5 to 10%, and the majority of that was me. Like, the other characters just couldn't do enough damage to actually register anything. So I don't really think I've got a choice there. I think I've probably got to grind them up a little bit. I mean, I was under the recommended power level by a fair amount anyway, so it's not that surprising. But do that and then hopefully finish Proud today so that I can actually access the DLC content. But that's what I'm going to be doing after this. So if you're interested in that game, you want to see what it's like, well, that'll give you a kind of a good opportunity to see what the base game is like, because if you want to do the new content, you have to pretty much completely finish the base game. That's the way the DLC is set up on it. Like, you can't just purchase it, download it, and then I immediately access it if you haven't more or less done everything from the previous game. Yeah, you're not going to be able to access the new content. That's just kind of how it is. But I talked about that a little bit at the start of the stream. Like, it's a decision, but I understand why they did it. But considering how only 2% of the people platinum the game, I don't know if that was the wisest way to do it. But it also makes sense just from the standpoint of you don't want your hardest of hardcore players to basically get the DLC and blow through it in 10 hours. So, all right, but thanks again for watching. Better luck next time, I hope. And hope to see you next stream. If not, hope to see you tomorrow. You guys have a good day or evening, and I'll be back in about 40 minutes or so.